Hi everyone, Armoured Pants here, and I have another video for you in the European line. This is the Tier 8 P.44 Pantera. As always, we have a complete guide starting with the tech spec, and we're going to look at that on blitzhanger.com. Now, first thing I would say is I love this tank. I think it's brilliant, I think it's fabulous, and it's the best in the line so far. Tier 8 medium, and fast becoming my favourite Tier 8 medium at that. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. It's lightning quick. The main thing though is the gun system. I really like the gun system on this. It is an auto-loading auto-loader. But before we get on to that, let's look at provisions. I would use cinnamon roll perhaps if you want to go scouting, because it gives you 293 meters of view range, and it also gives you a slightly faster reload on the gun as well. Now the 90mm gun, there's two of them. But this tank is all about the Top Gun, because the Top Gun has this auto reloading reloader. So basically it's auto reloader magazine. What does that mean? Well, normally magazines, you fire the 3 shells, you have to wait for the whole thing to load. But here, if you fire one, it automatically starts reloading. It's very different and gives it massive firepower. 203mm of pen on the AP, 650 plus on bursts, 259mm of pen on APCR, 45mm pen of HE, but that 650 burst of damage on per magazine is amazing. Muzzle velocity is 1050 meters per second, but it goes up to 1365 with supercharge. APCR has higher muzzle velocity. When you max that out, it goes up to 1430 meters per second. HE has lower muzzle velocity, so please note that it's only 1300 meters per second even with supercharge. Now, shell reloads. It's 3 seconds between each shell if you fire normally in a line, but it auto reloads. This is the main thing, and the reload is in order as follows. If you've no shells, first one is 6.65 seconds, the second one is 3.55 seconds, and the last one is 1 seconds. And this tank is really fast, so 60 kilometers an hour, 20 in reverse. It really is the Ferrari of medium tanks. It's so agile, power to weight ratio is super. And now that's why you can describe it as the Ferrari or Lamborghini of medium tanks. It really does shift. It's lightning quick. Has decent concealment numbers too, which helps with scouting and spotting, as does the speed, and if you max out the view range with cinnamon. Now, looking at the front of this tank, it does have a bit of armour. You will get the odd bounce when you angle it up. The mantlet also is good. With the 8 degrees gun depression, it does give you some options of going hull down. Gun depression is not the best, but it's pretty decent. Now on the sides and back you don't have any armour, right? So you need to watch yourself, therefore run a double repair kit. You don't want to get tracked out in the open in this thing. Virtually no armour at the sides and back. Because of the Tier 8, you're going to be up against some of the biggest guns in Blitz. Waffle tractors, rims, ISUs, you name it. Object 704s if you get up tiered, so you need to be careful. Do not get exposed in the open in this tank. It is one of its drawbacks. But then you expect that for medium and fast moving tanks. You can see here that there is some armor on the turret when you're top tier. Even when you're on your own tier, you're going to get some armor and bounces on the turret, especially if you're going hull down using that 8 degrees gun depression. But you know, really you have to assume that you're going to get pen most times, and that any bounces you get are a bonus. But that's not what this tank is about. This tank is about its speed, its agility, getting around the map, and then utilizing this gun system, which is amazing. Worst case scenario for this gun system is that you empty your magazine, you're going to fire around then every 6.5 seconds, which is faster than most medium tanks in Tier 8 anyway. So you're going to be able to compete. But the great thing about it is that you fire off a round or 2 rounds. In a normal autoloader magazine, you have to double click and reload the whole thing. With this, it reloads as soon as the round is fired. It starts reloading. So therefore, you have full magazine more often than you do with other autoloaders, and therefore your DPM, a potential DPM, is really excellent. And I've had many games in this tank doing 3 to 4k plus damage because of this gun system. It's just brilliant. I really like it. Now game 1, we're on Mayan Ruins, so first thing as always we're going to check the setup, so I decide to go left. In this game, by the way, we win. Bit of a carry for me, but I get killed at the end. I'll tell you why when we get to that part of the game. It's something I often do, by the way. I think if you watch my videos regularly, you'll know that this is something that happens to me quite often, and I don't learn from my mistakes. But, you know, you probably noticed from my gameplay. I'm a pretty aggressive player. You know, the only time I really sit back is when I play TDs with no armor. Most of the rest of the time I carry the fight to the enemy. I believe that's how the game should be played. Here we go. I'm going to use the good gun depression I have. It's better than this poor guy in the T49, so I'm really smashing in some rounds to him. And again, you see just how good the gun depression is here, better than a lot of medium tanks. And now what we're talking about here is this reload. See, I'm already reloaded. And now I'm going to switch up, and I'm going to go to HE. So this is the beauty of being aware and using your ammo selection. Pop around into him. Just look at this alpha roll that's coming up here. We're ready up to 458, and we get the kill because he's still on fire. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the presence of mind to switch up to HE. Again, gun depression. Panther can't get down. He's running a big gun on that. He can't get down, and I am just able to smash him like nobody's business. Another one in, and then my allies take him out, and that is a pretty cool explosion. Turrets coming for me, and that is pretty cool. And this is what makes the turret exploding aspect, which came in a couple of updates ago, really cool. Now I have time. I'm going to try to go into a full reload. I'm going to go after this T43, pop one into him here. I fluff the next shot, hits him on the side. But just look how agile this tank is. I mean, I'm up against another medium here. I'm able to go around and pop one into him, around safely into cover while I reload. And I'm already reloaded, and my ally takes him out, but even if my ally hadn't been there, we would have been able to clear him off. So, you know, this is what this tank's about. It is about its agility, its maneuverability, and this gun system, which is just awesome. You can see here, you know, another medium tank, Panther. Just look how fast I am compared to him, you know. And then we're going to go capture base at last. We did a lot of damage. You can see that we are we are not even 1 minute and 15 seconds into the game, and we are now at 2.5k damage. So really, this is just what you can do with this tank, right? Gonna pop another round into him, and then I'm gonna go around behind him. But then I see the Luva, so that's not a good idea. So now I'm gonna stay in cover. I've taken some damage in this game already, but I've done a lot of damage as well. This is one of these games, by the way, where you think you're not playing very well because you seem to be taking a lot of damage, but then when the scoreboard comes up, you realise because you were more or less fighting the whole thing on your own. Now, I've been looking at the damage count here, and when I played this game, I hadn't yet mastered this tank. So, and I've told you this before, when I see a mastery badge in a site, when I think there's a possibility of getting one, I often just go for it and become a bit reckless, and often I end up dying. Now, that is a fault I know I have, and I continuously do it, but then at the same time I always want to master a tank, especially if I haven't mastered it before, and it's been a new tank I hadn't done that. And there you go, you see, in my effort to get that last kill to push me up to 3 and to push me over well over 4k of damage, I got myself killed, and I ended up with just a second class mastery badge. But having said that, if I didn't do that, then I probably wouldn't have got it anyway. There you go, big carry from me, over 4k damage, twice as much as the next tank. I took a lot of damage as well, but I think I did a good job for my team. And I think this game really illustrates the power of this tank. We didn't get around the map too much in that game, but you did see its speed and its agility and the power of that gun system. So there we go, Confederate and high caliber. Now, game 2, this is a mastery game in this tank, and this is Fort Despair. And we will see here that we decided to go left initially with the other meds. When I eventually get going, I'm not sure what happened here. I think maybe one of the kids was talking to me, or got a phone call, or yeah, who knows, can't really remember. Got distracted somehow, but yeah, so I'm going to go up here and we're going to follow around the other meds and go to B, I think, see what pops up. And again, as I said, this is a game where I get spotted here, but I'm trying to use my view range and my decent enough concealment numbers, so I'm going to spot up both A and B bases and see what comes up. And I'll pop my nose over here and see what's doing. Nothing cooking. So I'm just going to wait, see. I got spotted, so there's something. There we go. AMX going to try to snap one off on him. Didn't make it. You know, as I said, the tank does have good muzzle velocity. You see, I fluffed that shot, right? But now I'm already completely reloaded, and I have a full mag to fire it with again. And that's the beauty in a normal autoloader like an AMX or something like that. I'd only have 2 shells left, whereas now I've got 3. And every time you fire off a round, if you don't need to pop off the full mag, you just go back to a full mag in 3.1 seconds, which is really good. You can see here now I'm going to pop the last one into him and then roll back because I don't want to get into danger, and I've already started reloading my mag. And that is the power of this gun system. It's really good. This type of gun system was first introduced with the M4 Egyptian Tier 7 premium tank, and now we have it here in this Tier 8 Italian, and it's on the Tier 9 and Tier 10s as well. Really great system. Really enjoy playing it. Now we can just see, I'm going to slow it down just so you can see the agility of this tank. You know, and this is against an AMX CDC, which is absolutely no slouch, one of the most maneuverable tanks in Tier 8. But you can see no problem at all. My maneuverability and agility and the gun system enables me to more than keep track with him and then to take him out eventually. So this gun, and now we're going to see the gun system in action again, right? So there you go, T-43-3, and I can clear him off with my fast loading magazine. And this is why I'm saying you can do so much damage with this tank. It just really is so effective. And the good thing about it is it gives you freedom, which you don't normally enjoy with other magazine loaded tanks. Why? Because normally you're kind of sometimes afraid to fire a shot on spec, because if you miss, then you know you're only going to have 2 shells in your magazine, or you're going to have to reload, which takes a long time. With this, you can fire shots on spec, because you know even if you miss, you're going to reload and you know, be back to full magazine in no time at all, in 3.1 seconds. So it gives you that freedom, which I don't really get when I play other magazine tanks. And I think that this is another great reason why I just love this. I just love this shell system. Gonna get another kill here. There's the muzzle velocity in action. Just powers across that open gap and smashes it at the back of the 100p, and it's game over. 2v1 situation. It's going to go 1v1. Get to put one into the ascent here, and another one into him, and there we go. Backing up, another one into him. I'm happy to trade points with him now because my gun system is far superior to his. Another one, he knows that too, decides to grab it, but he's not going to escape from me, not in this thing. You can see there he gets himself 6s and 7s, clear him off, and there we go. 5 kills, Radley Walters medal, and a lot of damage done, but not as much as the last game, but nonetheless a mastery badge delivered. Sorry, 6 kills, so Pools medal, and it's the 1.44k damage of XP that delivers the mastery badge. As we said before, mastery badges are all about XP, not necessarily about damage or number of kills. They of course contribute to the XP, but they are not necessarily the only thing that does. So the spotting I did there, getting Top Gun, getting high caliber, Pools medal, etc. All of that contributes to 1.427k of damage, and that's what delivers, of XP, and that's what delivers the mastery badge. But again, another great example of the strengths of this tank and how this tank can be so effective on the map. So let's have a recap. I mean, in my opinion, this is a brilliant new tank in a new line. It's well thought out by Wargaming and very welcomed by me. It's a really good medium tank, and the gun system is just amazing. And I'm really happy that Wargaming brought this to us. The top 90mm gun is great, and the autoloader system is awesome. Just really gives you a lot of firepower, a lot of confidence, a lot of freedom. 2 and 3mm of pen on AP, 256 and APCR, 45mm with HE. Take note of the HE, it works as you saw in the shot in the T71. Power to weight ratio is super, traverse is very good, which makes this tank an excellent brawler. It handles fantastically well, as you saw, gets around the map easily, up hills, doesn't make any difference. I'd consider using Cinnamon to max out the view range. It helps also with reload and scouting tasks, but it's up to you, depends on your gameplay and your game style. Gun handling is good. The muzzle velocity is good, much better than the tanks that went before it. And it has a decent turret with that mantlet, and it has a little bit of front armor, not much. And this tank plays the medium tank role really well, you know, accessory, assess, move, arm, but also you can play as a light tank because it's so fast. It does 60 kilometers an hour, which allows you to spot and scout using cinnamon provisions if you're going to do this. And you know, move so fast that you can play a light tank role if there is no light tank on your team. The rate of fire and the burst damage is just great, and worst case scenario, as we said, if you're down to empty your magazine, you've got to wait 6.5 seconds to reload each time you want to fire if you're in a brawl, which is not bad at all. So it's a good fallback position. So overall, this is an excellent medium tank, something new and great, and it's really fun to play. So I can't speak highly enough of it. I really love it. The music was Vivaldi's Spring and Verdi's Triumphal March from Aida, both pieces of great Italian music to match this great Italian tank. So cheers Mush, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I guess all remains for me to say is pants off. But P.S. I do have a bonus game for you. It's another 4k damage in this tank on Faust. It's a game before, I think it was one of my first or second games. It's before I really came familiar with the gun handling, so you see me fluffing a few shots in it. But if you want to have another look at this tank in action and see how it can deliver consistently 3-4k damage games, here you go. Enjoy, and I will leave you with the amazing music of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So you're kind of thinking, well, Armored, that's not Italian. Well, it is in a way, because it's the Marriage of Figaro. Enjoy.
down.